I'm getting like 70s Debbie Harry Blondies vibes. I can dig it. Hello, my fellow Snarkatarians. What's up? It's Jess. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are being safe. I hope you are staying sane, which at this point is probably one of the harder things to do. I think we are all pretty much kind of living outside our comfort zone, even though we're living inside right now, I hope. But to take that a step further, I thought it would be appropriate to do a makeup look with something that is way out of my comfort zone. So for Christmas last year, Matt had gotten me a palette that was so far outside my radar. It wasn't something, I had seen it and I thought it was really pretty, but it wasn't anything that I normally tend to go for. I tend to go for more neutral palettes, sometimes warm, sometimes cool, but pretty basic. You can do a lot of things with it. Matt decided that because I didn't have any of these colors in any of my palettes, that he would get me the Melt Muerte palette, and it's beautiful. I've seen reviews on this. I know Melt as a brand generally has a lot of pretty neat, who says neat anymore? Special palettes with a lot of pigmentation in their colors. They tend to blend pretty well. And even though they seem to be fairly user-friendly, because they're so pigmented, it does take a certain touch, I guess, sort of expertise to be able to use these in a certain fashion. I am by no sense any kind of makeup artist whatsoever. I just kind of like to dabble in makeup. So as you can see, the color story is pretty stunning. But these are colors that I do not use generally. I really don't use a lot of the reds. I don't use the blues very much, just because blues tend to make my eyes look more gray than blue. I think using warmer browns and neutral colors tend to bring out the blue in my eyes. They tend to shift depending on what kind of mood I'm in or what kind of makeup I'm wearing. But these are definitely not colors that are in my wheelhouse by any stretch of the imagination. So this palette terrifies me. So I thought it would be fun. This could be a disaster. It could go all right. I'm not going anywhere today, so if it turns out to be terrible, then that's okay. I guess I can just wipe it off. I do have the rest of my makeup on, and just kind of, I did prime my eyes. I used the Revolution Pro Eye Elements, the Core Eye Primer. Everything else that I've used on my face, I will link and list in the description box below. So I'm going to zoom you closer, and we're going to get started. So we are all kinds of zoomed in right now. Sorry about that. And I guess we're going to go right in. I have watched a few other tutorials. Raw Beauty Christie was one of those, and I will link that below as well. But she did one eye with the Muerte palette and the other one with the Vita palette. And again, these colors, we'll see. I'm not necessarily going to do exactly what she did because I don't remember, but I'm going to do something similar, I think. And I think what she did was use a lot of the blues on the upper lid and then kind of went in with the blues and the reds on the lower portion. I think I'm going to kind of mix the two together. So I think I pulled my brushes and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to use the reds, and the thing that makes me a little hesitant about the reds is some reds I tend to get a reaction to depending on the color pigments or, you know, the number red colors that they use. So I think I'm going to start, where's my finger, with this one here. This one is called Corazon. So I'm going to try and lightly put that in the upper part of my crease here. I am taking a smaller brush to kind of concentrate the color. This is a BH Cosmetics Pro number 17 brush, and it's smaller, and it's nice to get into that crease, and then I can slowly build that color up. And one thing, if I haven't mentioned before, hi, I'm Jess. I am 45, and with that comes more hooded eyes. The older I've gotten, the more hooded my eyes have become. So it's gotten a little tricky to kind of get the color to show up where I want it. I feel like I can put a lot in the crease and then it just disappears when I open my eyes. So I have learned to kind of bring that color up a little bit higher, above the crease, more up towards the brow bone. and I'm just going to concentrate that there, and then I will buff it out and kind of smoke out the edges a little bit. Get that build up really quickly. I'm going to take my Morphe M533 brush and just kind of buff that out a little bit. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so next, these blended out really nicely and still kept a nice pigment to it. It didn't turn too pink, maybe a little pink. If I build it up a little bit more, it would stay more of that kind of chili pepper red. But I think I'm gonna go in with Sangre. This is like a, not quite a wine, I guess kind of like a sangria sort of thing. And I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is a Moda Pro BMX 420 detail brush. And I'm gonna try and deepen up the crease with that Sangre color. The thing I noticed about this in some of the reviews that I've seen, I thought it would be okay to do my base makeup on everything else because there was not a ton of fallout with these products. And so far I am finding that. We'll see what happens once I get into the darker bluer colors. But these, so far, this first color did not give me any kind of fallout at all. So I'm happy with that. So we're gonna just kind of take this smaller brush, and we're gonna go right kind of into the middle of the crease there. And I will probably get, or I may get some comments about pulling on the side of my face. Really, it's just, again, getting older, it's harder to see the canvas of the eye. So I tend to kind of pull just a tiny bit on it just to get a better idea of what I'm working with, where I'm placing the color. And then once I let go, I have a better idea if I need to go up a little bit higher or bring it down a little bit lower. I think I'm going to go back in a little bit more with that BH Cosmetics brush and add a little bit more of that Corazon color, just so it doesn't, I'm going to kind of blend that into the Sangre color. Just because I don't want to lose that punch of red like that. And I'm going to go back with that Morphe brush and kind of blend that out. That Sangre is gorgeous. I'm going to bring that up a little bit higher on the crease, I think. Just because, again, with my more hooded eyes, it's kind of hard to see the gradient there. Just taking a very, very light touch. These are blending together beautifully. I'm not quite as scared now. I'm actually kind of enjoying this, so cool. And I got a smudge of it right on my nose here. So there really is no fallout except when I smear it on my face. So now I think I'm going to kind of tap into the blue colors here a little bit, especially on the outer edge, and then bring that blue in towards the inner corner. So I think I'm going to go in with, I'm going to start with Duelo. This is like a deep teal color, and if I'm feeling brazen enough, I might move into this, which is Noche Eterna, or Noche Eterna. All of a sudden I'm speaking Latin. Noche Eterna, but I'm going to start with the Duelo, and then if need be, I will darken that up a little bit. So I'm going to go in. I have a BH Cosmetics number 9 brush. It is an angled brush. And I'm going to kind of stamp the color on the outer corner of my eye here. And the problem I may run into is that it may tend or start to look a little bit muddy. I mean, you can definitely see the difference between the red and the teal right now. So let's see here. But it is getting a little bit more purple kind of right in this crease here, which would make sense. But what I really like about it is that it is almost a gradient from the pink to the maroon to kind of a purple color down into the teal. So I'm not mad at it. Okay, now what I want to do. This is where it gets interesting. Do I want to do a cut crease? I'm thinking I might. And this is not something I do very often, so we'll see how this goes. Kind of clean up it. Cleaning up that inner corner a little bit. By the way, for this I'm using a Luxie 246 precision crease brush. It seems to work really well for a cut crease. Okay, not terrible for somebody. This is probably my second or third cut crease that I've done. The color that really speaks to me is this Lagrimas or Rimas, I don't know. It's gorgeous. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to put this down as a base. And then I want to put the Angelito, which is a shimmer color, on top of that. So really kind of make that color pop. So I have a BH Cosmetics number 7 flat brush. And I'm going to go in with Lagrimas. And press that on. I'm really gonna pack it on here, I believe. I'm gonna leave that inner corner open just a little bit. I'm getting like 70s Debbie Harry Blondies vibes. I can dig it. I'm gonna go back into that teal, that Duello. Kind of make it a little bit more of a transition here. All right, so I really want to make that blue pop, and I'm going to go in with Angelito, which is this color here, and just kind of lay that on top of the aqua color that I've already used. I'm going to give a little spray using my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. probably hard to tell on this camera, but just to give it like a little bit extra dimension and sparkle. It's not really picking up. And something I do like doing then is taking a light kind of shimmery color and just kind of bringing it down the center of my lid here, again, just to give it a little bit more dimension. So I'm going to use this Kalaka, and I'm going to kind of bring that down the center of my lid. This color seems to be a little chunkier. But I think that adds a really little extra dimension to the look. And then I'm also going to take, this is a Morphe M507 brush, and I'm going to put that Kalaka into the inner corner as well. Now, what to do with the under eye? I think I'm going to kind of do things a little bit backwards, go in with the teal, and then kind of work my way back to the sangre color underneath. So I'm going to take my Morphe E35 brush, it's a little pencil brush, and I'm going to start with the Lagrimas. Make the under eye face. And then I'm going to go in with that teal, the Duelo. Maybe I'm going to switch up to my Moda DMX 402 Smudger, so maybe we'll try that instead. I'm going to bring this pretty close into the lower lash line. And then finally, I'm going to go in with that Sangre and kind of bring that up here. Actually, I'm going to bring that Duelo up to the corner because that's the color that I had on that outer corner. And now I'm just going to go in with a touch of the Sangre. All right, I need to take a breath here for a second because this is quite the look, and honestly, I'm actually pretty happy with it. So I am going to finish up the eyes, put some mascara and some liner on, and wheel it back a little bit, and we'll be done. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. So what I ended up using was my Ulta Maximum Lashes mascara on just the top lashes. I don't even think I brush through them. And then I found this Sephora waterproof colorful crayon in, I think it's Merlot. Sangria, of all things. Sangria. So I use that on my lower waterline. And then lipstick, I finished this up with the M Cosmetics True Gloss in Lotus Blossom. So I thought that that kind of spoke a little bit to that red that I use. Normally I wouldn't use this kind of eye look, but if I would probably pair this with a nude lip. But I just felt like, you know what, if I'm going to go this glam, I might as well finish it up with a strong lip. So this is the finished look, and you know what? I had a good time. I'm very surprised by how well this turned out, considering my past eye tutorials have really gone south fairly quickly, but considering how scared I was of actually using this palette, and again, going out of my comfort zone, way over my comfort zone, and playing with this palette and these colors, I think it turned out pretty cool. Like I said, I feel like I'm rocking the Studio 54 Blondie vibes, which, you know, that's fine with me. I like it, and I hope you did too. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of thing, I do have other eye tutorials, most of which go south pretty quickly, but I think they're fun to watch. So I will link those below. I did the e.l.f. bite-size palettes, and I just did some kind of other things that made me kind of go outside the box, things that I wouldn't normally do. So I highly recommend that you check those out. While you're here, if you like this kind of video, certainly give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe while you're here, and you know, ring the bell when you get notifications. I try to upload once a week, usually on Mondays at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you'd like at Pesky Snarkatarian. And be safe, you guys. Be safe, be smart, and most importantly, be kind. We're going to get through this together. Try and have a little fun doing it as well. And again, I appreciate you sticking around and hanging out with me today. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.